All right, we're going to go over some replays. I had someone on the team send me over a few replays. I think there's 9, so I have a bunch of work cut out for me here. So one thing I like to do when I'm watching replays, I like to have a Word document open. And we're going to write down all of our little things that we see. So no matter how small it is, no matter how insignificant it may look, if it's a minor mistake, we're going to write it down. That doesn't mean that it's something necessarily wrong with consistent gameplay, but if we write down all these notes for every single game, the point is we're going to notice a pattern. And if we notice a consistent pattern of negative play for someone or the group as a whole, then that's something we know we need to work on. If it's just a one-time mistake, it's something that can be overlooked, but that's why we're taking notes. We can keep track of all this. So I'm going to put that on my second monitor so I can pretty much see it at all times. Shrink it a bit. Okay, so we're going to go to this first replay here. We're going to label this, let's see, just exactly what it says, 2019 02/18, and then 1302. If we label it on our Word document, just like this, there's going to be no question which one we're watching, right? Proper labeling, very, very important. And then this is where we're going to be taking our notes. Great, so try not to look too much at the time here because you don't know if if the match settings have it such that you can observe after, so the replay hopefully will be a little bit longer. You don't want to see 3 minutes here. You know they died right away. You kind of want to be surprised when you're watching replays. You want to go in with a blank slate. Okay, so things we're going to look for. This is going to be a replay from only one person's perspective. We don't have the spectator replay. So we're going to be limited in our vision a little bit. But that's okay. We don't want to be too broad with our replay analysis anyway. Okay, so I'm going to keep the timeline up. Just so I can skip. J is the default key for that for me. Okay. So let's see here. What do we got? All right, we're landing Yaz. We've one team. Looks like they're trying to come with us a bit. Let's see what they're doing. All right, he's trying to go past. Cool. So this is the replay from Mayo, so his perspective is going to be the cleanest. We're going to see things loaded in properly. Sometimes when you have replays from an individual person, things are loaded in a little weird. I'm going to keep this player list tab open. You press tab to open that, just so I can switch back and forth between my players up here, see what they're doing. So this is a bit uninteresting right now. We're just looting. So generally, when you're looting something like Yaz, you're going to have people split territory. So Arrow's going to go up here, probably loot all this. Blacklit and Sabin going to split this area. Miles over here. See how it goes. They're going to send one out for a scout early on now that they've seen the circle over here. So this is good routing for a team that landed in Yaz. You know you only saw one team above you here, so you know you need to watch out for your eastern rotations. They might be coming in this way. You saw someone probably drop school. We just saw someone over here kind of going in the prison area. So you know you're clean at least up until this point here where you really start needing to be a little bit careful here. Driving pathways, this is usually pretty clean unless you have school rotating west, but usually they're going to go in like a safer rotation down here through the woods. You have some bumps and bruises over here to get up with shelter, and it's kind of a risky spot. This is a very open field. People like looting prison into the center, especially with this kind of circle, so you have to watch out for that. So you need to look for what your ideal compound might be in a scenario like this. So as the in-game leader, you're looting, but you're looking at this map and you're saying, I like this spot right around here. You can see a good distance right in the middle of the circle. If I could get there, that'd be wonderful. But you know that the plane path was somewhere right around here. Let's show off. So the plane path was somewhere right around here. So you know that there's going to be some people. Probably this is very jumpable. You see that this is a little less than a space and a half. Someone could have even driven to Milta from this distance. you know people are going to be coming from military at some point. So you do need to consider that there might be people where your ideal compound might be. So in that scenario, you might want to go to a safer location, maybe somewhere over here, and kind of look how to take a better compound like farm, or take over here, wait for the second circle to see where might be a more central second circle location. So this circle still could go on the military island, which would be a pretty extreme shift, but just know that it is possible and have a contingency plan for this. If you find yourself in the middle of this circle over here early on, and then it's a military circle, you have a pretty hard shift going down here. You know that this area is going to be full of people. You know that this bridge is going to be full, and you know that people are going to be looking out for this shore. So it's a pretty risky circle if it ends up going military at this point. All right, let's carry on. I might skip ahead until it gets a little more interesting. At this point, you're just looting. If you really want to look for your team's looting practices, you can't really do it in a replay like this because you can't see everyone's inventory and what they're picking up. So if your team's a little newer, you might want to watch some live recordings or something from one of your players' streams. You might want to watch live as a spectator to get a little more of the looting practices here. So just see with Black, we don't even have this loaded in right now because it's not his replay, it is Mayo's replay, so we can see his a little bit better. Okay, so let's scoot on over till we start. Okay, so I see we're moving a bit late here. Let's see, about 5 minutes in is usually an okay time to move. Okay, so they have someone coming in over here in a car. Wonder if they hear that. They don't, the plane's coming in. So they feel safe to not rotate in, it appears, because they're at the edge of the circle. I guess they're comfortable assuming this is going to be a northern circle here. This team is smart, not rotating in this way. That'd be a very silly rotation with these cars. This bridge is usually pretty packed. All right, so let's see. When do we start moving? We start moving at 5:40. We have 2 people. So right now we don't have a scout. So, okay. So I'm going to pause. And one thing I'm going to write down here, I'm going to say 5:30, move out, no scout. So, we don't want to assume this is too late for this circle yet, or too early, but we do want to just note what's happening. So let's see. Farm-centered circle. Farm-centered circle, 5:30 move out, no scout. Alone in Yaz. I'm just writing things down that I want to know. So we're alone in Yaz. We have farm-centered circle. Saw team go Stalber / Kameshki. Yeah, so that's what we're going to write down. We want to keep it fairly general until we know our team really well. And then we can get fairly specific with some things that we really need to look out for. So right now we landed alone Yaznaya. It's a farm-centered circle. We saw a team go Stalber Kameshki. We have a 5:30 move out, and we don't have a scout. Okay, let's go. Okay, so I'm watching from Blacklist perspective to see what we see here. He's not going to see this team. So we have 2 people in 1 car, so that's a little bit risky right away, going right to the center of the circle here. We still have our 2 members all the way back here, so this route's probably going to be safe. We know this already because it's fairly open here. Alright, so let's see if we saw that. Don't be afraid to go back and replays all the time. You have to see things from different perspectives. I'm surprised they didn't look for a second vehicle. Hold on, let's write that down. So 5:30 move out, no scout, no search for second vehicle, 2 people, 1 car, 2 center. Type all these things down. You're just noticing these things. Maybe not ideal. You kind of want more than 1 car here. So we see here, we have a vehicle here. You see that US moving. Where am I? You see that US moving in this direction. You know he's kind of moving towards shelter, prison, maybe lumberyard area. Let's continue on. Okay, so he's going to see them. I mentioned before there's some risky driving here. Yeah. This is a rough spot with some rocks and some divots. You have to go on the road, which is usually pretty risky. So let's see. Do we like that path? Straight down path. We know this is a little bumpy, but manageable. Now you run the risk. These are usually very popular compounds. These two right here. So you do need to watch out for that. You could also assume that there's going to be some traffic at this point. At a 5:30 move out, usually teams are going to start moving at about 5 minutes, maybe even 4 minutes 30, depending on where they are. So you have to be careful with a straight along path like this with two people in your car. You might want to have two separate cars or have just one person go really far ahead and scout, which they didn't do in this scenario. Let's see how it works out. Okay, he's aware. Okay, so he's aware that this compound is usually pretty full, so he's taking this sort of pathway here because this is pretty safe from this compound. Now, he may get shot at. Very unlikely to get knocked from here. Now, what concerns me about this pathway at the moment is that he's running pretty much into an open field that's fairly open to this spot over here, and can sneak into this spot over here. So I'm not sure what his plan is right now. They may try to take this hill or this hill over here and see if they can scout out farm, scout out this compound over here, see what's safe. Let's see which way they go. So see, we're going straight along. Couple flips, calculated. Okay, how risky is this? Could be worse. Could be worse. You never want to flip your car. If you're going to do it, you want to do it not right next to any buildings. Still a little risky driving. He should be aware of things that could flip your car. I mean, it was a pretty straight pathway. Shouldn't have really flipped that much. Maybe slow down a little bit for some safer driving. In this scenario, I don't think it kills him. I hate this bug. Okay. So, we are trying to take this compound over here. We're trying to take farm. Oop. Okay. So we came... Where am I? We came from over here, which is a fairly safe route, right? We're in between a lot of places people like to go. People love to go over here. So they maybe see us take a few pot shots. People love to go over there. This isn't the first compound you might say we're going to hold in a circle like this. And they went on such a route that, like, stopping over here, this rock protecting their car from this. Not perfect, so that's something to write down. Let's see. Safe route to rock by farm. Car not fully protected from farm view. So this could be an issue because if farm is taken right now and these people do not want my own blacklit to be taking this, they're going to shoot at them, and they're going to shoot at this car for sure. And they don't want them to get away. They want them stuck here. And if their car blows up and there's people in here, which fortunately there's only one person, but imagine someone just right here right now. They could see Mayo Blacklit right here. They could be in this window. Pow, pow, pow. Car dead. Blacklit knocked. It's not the safest thing in the world. Fortunately, no one's in this building to see that, but you want to be safe from every...